This is Andrew Herman from Hillwood High School in Nashville, Tennessee, and I will be instructing you on how to use the anonymize, pacing, and pause applications on a Desmos task. So, as you can see here, I have the anonymize button pressed, and so it gives all the names of my students as famous mathematicians. I use this because whenever I do share all of my class's responses, no one has to be worried about another student seeing their response and saying, oh, that one's wrong, and making fun of their response. The only person who knows what they put is myself when I take it out of anonymized mode and the student themselves. If they want to own that, then they can. So we'll go ahead and go to the teacher mode here with this is a recent activity that I've used. And if you notice here, for each of their answers, their mathematician name pops up. So no one can tell who wrote that response. Now, the reason why I would be on the screen, and this would be on the projector in my classroom, is I would hit the pause button. Okay, so that pause button is going to take all of my students and freeze their screens. Okay, that means that they cannot move away from there. They have to stay on there, and actually gets grayed out, so they can't really do anything. They can't really see anything either. Okay, and so the plus for that is that I will take then this whole set on my teacher screen and put this on the projector. And what I did for my class was we went through these for this descriptive dilation. We pointed out what things are good, what things we might want to change a little bit, and we pieced them together. Just things that our class said, doesn't matter who, and we developed a class definition. And so with the pause on there, I was able to say, okay, they're not going to be distracted by what's going on their screen, and they can pay attention for a class discussion, participate in that. The last tool here is the pacing one. I like this one because it allows me to put my students where I want them to be. So when I was starting with this activity, is they would be doing the first few slides, and some students might not be through all the way, and they could be working on slide 2 or 3. We're paused it, we're explaining, we're getting our definition of dilation, and now I'm saying, okay, I want you to start at screen 7. Okay, so I would restrict them to screen 7. That would take all of their screens to screen 7, and then I would continue from there. My reasoning for doing that is we had just reached where we wanted to be in slide 5 and understanding what dilation is, developing a class definition, and then in slide 7, I want them to then use what they have, use what we discussed for dilation, and apply that to the slide. Now they might have already passed the slide, and if they have, that's fine, but they've come back now to see, okay, now that we've discussed what dilation is, does that change what your response originally was? And if it does, they can edit it. If not, then they can keep going on once I will have taken them out of the pacing mode. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of what the anonymize, pacing, and pause functions on the task dashboard do, and also a bit of the reasoning as to why I want to use them. I would say that the main reason here is it allows for the discussion, especially in the pause section, takes away that distraction. The anonymize, I love that one. That's probably my favorite one because it takes away that risk that students have by not sharing in class. And then the pacing allows everyone to be focused on what I want them to make sure that they're getting done and answering the most important questions on their own before we come together as a class.